We all get upset, right? That's a given, whether it's children getting upset or ourselves getting upset as well. This is something I completely accept in family life. But have you noticed that sometimes when your children get upset, you react in a way that actually causes you pain? You might notice that you say things to your children that were the same as things that were said to you when you were a child. Or do you notice yourself having a reaction that involves threatening or blaming or even manipulating your children, yelling at them, things that you actually find really uncomfortable yourself? So if you are noticing these sort of reactions in yourself, that you just sort of blow up and things just come out of your mouth that you really, really don't like, then you might actually benefit from some tips as to how to break these patterns. Because that's what they are. They're patterns. It's like old programming that we've got in our minds that we actually had embedded as children. So we're all carrying this programming in our minds, and it tends to run on autopilot when we get triggered in certain situations. It's absolutely a given that our children will find our buttons and trigger those deep, automatic, habitual patterns. So what can we do? If you'd actually like to get rid of some of this programming and reduce the amount of reactions you have with your children, then I've got some tips for you, because it's something that I've had to work on a lot myself. So there are a few things that I'd like to say to help you move past these programs. And the first one is that you already have taken a big leap in actually just noticing what's happening. The fact that you've noticed that you're saying things that are on autopilot or that were said to you as children or that you don't like, that noticing itself is a really big step. And once you've made that, there's really no going back, because you've raised your own awareness of what's coming out of your mouth and how you're speaking. And that's really important, and you can grow that. So growing that awareness and noticing what you're saying to your children and how you're reacting is the first step. Secondly, you then need to understand more deeply that it is just old programming. So understanding that you're actually innocent in this, in these reactions, even if they're loud and blaming and threatening, it's just old programming that's coming up and being triggered by the situation in front of you. So once you actually have that understanding and you're not judging yourself so harshly when you have these outbursts, that really helps them to dissolve. If you continue judging, that just reinforces it. So it's a bit of a nasty cycle. So the third thing you can do once you've noticed and understood what's actually happening is to introduce a new habit to try and interrupt the old pattern. Now, a new habit can be something simple. You don't need to work at it a lot, but if you remind yourself to respond in a slightly different way, then you can actually gradually build a new habit of communication. Now, what I like to do to break this habit, and it's been very effective, is when my children are upset and they're speaking to me, instead of listening to what they're actually saying, I listen to what they're feeling and what they want. So they might be coming out with, you know, some big screaming upset about how they hate me because I'm a terrible mom, or I gave them the wrong toast, or, you know, so-and-so took my toy, or whatever they're upset about. I listen to what they're feeling and what they want instead of what they're saying. And I mirror their feelings back to them. So I might say something like, oh, I can see you're really upset right now. Or, I'm sorry that you're so angry about that. I can see that you're really frustrated. Something really simple that just acknowledges their feelings and mirrors it back. And then you can ask what they actually want. So it can be just a general question like, how can I help you with that? Or it can be something more specific like, would you actually like my attention right now? Or would you actually like your brother to leave the room? Or something really specific. You can ask them what they actually want. And then make it clear that you're actually just going to listen. You're going to listen to them express their feelings, and you're going to listen to what they want. And if you can help, you're going to help them. So these simple communication techniques, mirroring their feelings, asking them what they want, and offering to help, is a new habit that you can use and practice and develop to interrupt the old patterns of reacting with threats or yelling or manipulation. So I hope that's helpful to you, and I hope you understand your innocence in this and can move forward gently and with compassion for yourself and your children.